It's juice bag.
Maybe I'll go higher on this one.
It's juice bag.
So it's juice. Let's just do a few like juice bags.
Juice bag.
I think we should do hip hop hype beast.
Okay.
Juice bag.
Noise.
Okay.
Hi. You make me feel alive.
Ooh, live. Yeah.
You know I was referencing Will.i.am and
No.
what's it called? The Black Eyed Peas.
No. You're
classic.
always referencing Black Eyed Peas.
I love the Black Eyed Peas.
We've been listening to so much Fergie lately.
I know.
London
See,
Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
That era of Fergie, and I don't even know the era of the Black Eyed Peas, but there was one specific CD I think it was the 7th or 8th.
Was it the one
grade?
with the elephant on it?
What?
It was like a
No,
a
it was
disco
green.
elephant.
There was a guy, like a green face made of tile or something. I can't
An
really.
elephant face?
No, I don't think so.
Really? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What song was on it?
Well, that one. You make me feel alive.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh gosh. I can't get any closer than this.
Oh, yeah.
You know
That's
that
a newer one. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Well, 7th or 8th grade. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's when it came out, or when I discovered it at least, and it ignited something in me ever since.
Should we say what the name of the show is?
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Juice Bag.
Juice bag.
Hottest podcast on the planet. Literally, we can take a break for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
And
Don't
people
honestly
still
remember.
come back and
people still
listen.
come back and listen,
Yeah.
you simps.
Jimmy Fallon kept asking us on his show last week, and we said,
He's like,
we
how do
have
I stay
stuff to do."
relevant? I know. Yeah.
We're so busy.
He obviously sent you a different message from me. Because we said different things, but
Oh, how's
Anyway.
everybody doing out there?
I know. I'm your host,
Woo.
Dakota Jones, with
And I am Jett Jones.
Jett Jones.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little loopy.
I didn't even get to ask yet. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling a very calm, neutral, loopy, confused 8 out of 10.
Why have you been so loopy and weird this week? I have noticed that about you, and it's not that it's irritating. It's just off-putting because I don't get it.
It's like, oh, have you heard of people talking about uncanny valley?
No.
Okay, so it's this thing where people are doing this makeup trend or like a funny face trend where they do their makeup in a way where they look human but off.
Ew.
Like either like a too long of smile or too deep set of eyes.
And that's called an uncanny valley.
Uncanny valley. I don't know what the like term comes from exactly, but it's like an eerie something's not quite right thing is my
Well, you're
impression.
not quite right, dude.
I'm
You've been like
uncanny valley.
Delulu the past like week, I feel like.
If I'm going to be honest, so my mother's in town, which is fabulous.
Fabulous.
Loving having family in town. It is interesting. It's just like a different pace.
Yeah.
And the episode I reference most that we have done in our past is the one about setting your life's pace and like repacing your life. And I just feel like I knew this would kind of happen, and I know that I don't do super well with this sort of thing, but basically the pace has changed in my life, which, you know, some are good. She's been doing the dishes. That's great.
That has been great.
I know.
Yeah.
Pretty great. So anyway, and of course it's great to have her here, and I want to play board games with her and explore with her and go thrifting with her and all those things.
Lots of thrifting.
Yes.
Lots of thrifting.
Lots. And so anywho, I just have repaced unintentionally due to just different pace due to accommodating another human in my life. And so
Who's living a different pace, different life.
yeah. And I think I've had some realizations today that the uncanny valley version is you are probably sensing my outcry for connection, like on a vibrational level, but also also a defensiveness and like attitude / walls up a little bit, I feel like. And I think it's because I haven't set any boundaries for myself in my own time. I'm just kind of like floating and trying to like accommodate everyone else or just like tread lightly so that everybody like, I don't know. I feel pressure. Like I want to make sure you're happy because my mom's here, and I want to make sure my mom's comfortable because she's staying here.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
And so I feel like I just want to make sure everybody's doing okay. But then I think I've got burnt out. And I say this in the most casual, nothing has gone wrong, everybody's acting normal. It's just my own thing where I'm like, ugh, I need to stop
like you've
doing
worn
that.
yourself out, honestly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't intentionally given myself any alone time to do anything but like doom scroll. And so my brain is just kind of fried or worried about other people. And again, I say worried very loosely in a very mellow, like, oh, I wonder what they want to do. And I'm just not thinking about what my needs are or whatever. Also, I'm a little bit bummed.
Why?
Well, again, I'm all over the place because I have some good news, but some bad news. I think we attempted to share in a unreleased episode because our file was corrupted. Which,
yeah, we had some technical difficulties last week.
Yeah.
Which is why we didn't put out an episode.
Yeah, we recorded a whole thing and it just wasn't recording. So we rage quit.
Yes.
But now we're back today. Anyway,
Hi.
I think the thing that
What's your bad news?
my bad news is it snowed and therefore I can't run. And I was really looking for it.
Come on. You can run in snow. Right?
It was so icy outside. I almost died going down our front stairs.
But you weren't prepared for the ice on
I
the
was in
stairs.
hiking boots.
I know. But not ice shoes.
Well, exactly. So I'm not going to be running when there's ice outside because I'm not risking getting injured. But on that note, the thing that I think I didn't share because we skipped an episode was my ACL isn't torn.
Yeah. Woohoo.
And I feel like if you've torn your ACL, you know the struggle of having a freaking ligament just decide to ruin your life for a year at a time. And I've had 2 or 3 ACL repairs. They all happened in high school. I've had 3 surgeries on my knee previously. Had an injury about a year and a half ago. It's been bothering me ever since. I thought my ACL was torn. Anyway, got an MRI. Doctor said I'm fine, pretty much. I just have some like a slight cartilage tear and like some arthritis and bone swelling, which maybe sounds bad as a list.
Whoa.
But
Bone swelling?
Bone swelling. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I think that's what arthritis is. It's like inflammation
Well,
at
I
the
can't
bone.
speak to that. I don't know shit about the
I don't
body.
know. But so there's a reason it's causing me pain, but the good news is my knee isn't just like a flailing, limp noodle that not having an ACL is. So
Yeah.
long story short, I've been super excited. My doctor cleared me to get back to like normal activity. And as most people know, I've been on a health kick in the last year. And the last thing on my list was kind of to start running as a cardio method to mix in. And last week I did it 3 days in a row and it felt amazing. And like, really, it was still like 30 degrees in the morning, but it was like perfect running temperature and like a long sleeve. And that was like the time I was taking each day that I think was keeping me afloat.
Yeah.
But now that the weather's gone cruddy, and I haven't done anything, which is my own fault, and I'm aware, I just kind of feel like I haven't even taken a second to, do anything for myself. And therefore it makes me like kind of feel aimless, but resentful towards myself and other people for no reason,
Man, I didn't realize lots of complexities going on with you lately.
Yeah. Well, hence the loopiness is because like I feel good. I gave myself an 8. Like I genuinely am like happy to be around my mom, happy to be around you. Nothing is going wrong in my life. I've only got good news lately. I'm so hopeful for 2024.
Yeah.
All these things, but I'm just feeling.
Can I say something?
Maybe.
I almost feel like what you're experiencing, and maybe what I'm experiencing too, is anticipation.
Yes. Maybe a little bit of seasonal depression too.
Perhaps.
Just a tish,
But I
sprinkle.
feel like we made such ambitious year goals and stuff.
Yes.
And I seriously feel like we're on the verge of several.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you got some good news about your leg. Mm-hmm. Your mom's here. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about like the LLC. We've been talking about like the podcast. We've been talking about our health. And all these things are just waiting for us to get started on them.
Yep.
They're all completely greenlit. And I feel like that's why you're a little loosey-goosey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that we haven't paced our lives to prioritize any of those things.
We need to have a big day-long meeting.
Yeah.
And just figure out this
Yes.
entire year.
It's like, I want to get freaking a swolger. And I want to run a 5K and I want to start a business and I want to go surfing and there's so many things I want to do. And you need to study, man.
Dude, shut the frick up. That's my cross to bear, okay?
I know,
we
but-
didn't even get to my rating. You haven't asked me how my day's going. You just tell me what to do already.
Oh, whoa. How are you doing?
Hey, yo. Thanks, dog.
You're welcome.
I'm like at an 8.5.
Whoa.
Guess why?
Why?
It's your boy's 28th
Oh, yeah.
birthday tomorrow. Yeah.
Yoing, 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 yoing.
It's my birthday tomorrow.
He's turning 28.
Send your gifts. You can send your gifts the whole month. I'm a month-long baby. I'm the youngest person I know at 27. I'm turning 28 tomorrow. It's so exciting. No, not really. But I'm actually not like a big birthday guy. I think we're just going out to like a dinner.
We're doing a lot for your birthday.
What does that mean?
Okay, stop being worried. I'm not throwing you a surprise party. My fingers aren't crossed.
Good. Okay.
We're going out to a fancy...
Wait, why can't I see your fingers? Where are they?
Right in front of you.
Okay, good.
We're going out to
I didn't
high
see 'em.
tea at the Dandelion in
Yes.
Philly. So a little tea and crumpets action for an early off day, which will be nice.
Maybe you should not say the name of the restaurant in case like fans try and like bombard us.
Oh, yeah, I
and
know.
Stuff. Yeah.
I'll let Jimmy Fallon know
Paparazzi.
too.
Yeah.
And then we're going to probably, walk around the city, hang out, and go where you want to go.
Yeah, dude, walking around the city with coffee is like my favorite thing to do. We're going to do that for my birthday. And then we're going to go to the best pizza place in the city.
We're going to pick it up. We're going to eat it at home.
Because it's not in a good part of town.
Yeah.
But it's good as shit. It is so delicious. It's down North Pizza, North Philly, near like Fairmont, kind of Strawberry Hill area. It's like the best Detroit style pizza I've had in my whole life.
Yep.
And it is so good. And I can't wait for your mom to eat it and be like, yeah, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is like a 10 out of 10 for
Yeah.
her. because
Wait,
that's just
she
how
rated
is.
something actually good the other day.
Really? What was it?
Oh, man.
Was it yarn?
No. It was
A
something.
bolt of fabric.
No, it was something she ate, I think. I don't remember. That's going to bother
A crumpet,
me.
a cookie, some raisins.
Oh, no, it was a latte. She got it at Char and Stave in Ardmore,
she liked
PA.
her latte.
Yeah, she got a maple latte.
Uh-huh.
She said it was a 9.5.
What?
And she said the only reason it got a point kind of removed was because it was a little too sweet.
Interesting. We need to send that girl up north to Vermont.
I
She
know.
likes that maple.
I know.
Wow.
I also was impressed.
Interesting. The only thing I've seen your mom enthused about since she's arrived here is what's that game we've been playing?
Oh, categories.
Dude, she's nuts for that game.
She's so bad at it.
She gets so loud and passionate
She's
for
a
it.
glutton for
I
punishment.
think she's lost every time.
Yes.
Dead last.
Dead last of the three of us every time.
She's getting better. I
She's
beat her
really
by
trying.
1 on the last game, but I
Yeah.
was so
She's
so
climbing her
tired.
way up. She even like in conversation will be like, "That's a good word." Like,
Yep.
Force categories.
Yep. She's looking for double words and
Yeah,
stuff.
she's saving her bank of words.
She's like, oh, Barry Bonds? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm like bullying
But-
your mother.
No, she's a great lady and she deserves to be bullied, but also loved endlessly.
Yeah. On top of that, man, the only reason I'm not at like a full hype mode, like 9s, 10s or something like that, is because I've been eating a lot of bread lately. Your mom has brought in a lot of comfort foods into the home, which I both appreciate, but also I have felt like shit the past 2 weeks and I
Really?
have not pooped in the past 3 days.
What?
Yes.
You want the podcast to know that?
I eat English muffins every morning with jam, and it's so good, but it just locks me down like a maximum security prison, and I can't deal with it. But I'm so happy.
Well, enjoy it while it lasts.
I know. Anyway, but yeah, I've been a little delulu too. I've been kind of falling into it a little bit more, and I find the change of pace like. Your mom's been retired for what, like 2 years now?
Probably more like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And she was a night pharmacist and stuff, and she did that for a long time. And so needless to say, she likes to sew. She likes to be at home a lot slower paced than we are, which I'm actually kind of enjoying because it's like, well, I have every reason to stay at home and study. And so I feel like it's been nice to kind of accept the reality of what's happening and just like keeping my nose to the grindstone a little bit more. I still need to be studying more, but it's good to have the excuse to actually stay home as opposed to like go out every night, which has been nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But we're both at, what are you? And you said an 8.5?
8.5, yeah.
Or did you
like
say
that.
9.5?
No, I said like an 8.5.
Then we match.
We do match,
I
yeah.
said 8.
Okay.
Anyway, that's pretty good.
No, I think it's really good.
So maybe-
I actually think we're having a good week.
I think I miss you.
That's the other thing of why I'm not at a full 10 is like we keep talking before bed every night because we don't want to be like all mushy gushy in front of your mom. But like, yeah, I miss having my space with you and talking with you. Hugging and kissing.
We really are each other's outlet. Like,
Oh my God, I know. Let's take the time now to talk to each other. Is there
we
anything
are.
on your mind?
It's already feeling good. Everything, my 8 is climbing to an 8.5.
Good. I'm getting energized by talking about this too. It's nice to hear that you're putting intention into my birthday. Jett just got done frosting my cake that she made for me. It's a carrot cake. And she just like hand piped a bunch of carrots on top of it. It looks so cute. And I can't wait to destroy it.
Yeah.
It's so delicious.
I hope you love it, and I hope it's so good.
I'm going to. Is it spiced carrot cake? Good. Oh my
Cinnamony.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. The carrots were fun.
Yeah. What else has been on your mind, man? Are you anticipating anything? Are you nervous about anything?
I'm not. I've been on edge because I took a lot of time off December, January for just the holidays, and I had a bunch of PTO build up. So I took felt like 2 weeks off of work pretty much, which I'm not complaining about, but I am a routine person. And so once I start a new routine, going back to an old one, like I just feel off my game, and I hate feeling off my game at work because the position that I'm in, I'm basically like a, website builder, but also I have to be super careful because I'm pasting marketing copy material into sites. And if I mess up even a period, it is like visible. And so like when I'm off my game, I don't really have, I'm not supposed to have someone check my work. I'm supposed to do it in the morning and go back and look at it in the afternoon myself. Because our team is so small, I don't have anybody to QC unless I ask my boss, which is like, you don't want to ask your boss on every single thing you're doing to have them check it, even though truly that would probably be the best thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I just feel on edge about it because it's picking up speed because in the corporate event industry, things pick up for the spring pretty heavily.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's beginning. I'm at the very tip of the iceberg right now, and I'm off my game. So I just feel like on edge about it. And I did make some like mistakes that I caught and repaired on the back end that were no big deal or anything, but I fixed them myself, but it set me back. So anyway, that's probably the other thing that's been on my mind, which is like, I really want to, before break, I had my first ever website build that I had done where my boss literally, so for initial builds, he does go through and check all the websites that I build. And I finally got one back that didn't have a single error.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, there's tons of pages. Like there's so many places where like little things could get missed. And it's kind of expected for a project that big to just
Miss something.
edit each other's work.
Yeah.
But I got one back before I left that literally had 0 notes. And that was my goal.
And so it's only been downhill from there then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying I've actually started a bunch of projects and I feel off my game. And usually what that means is when I'm off my game, I know there's just something quite right that I can't quite place and I feel eerie about it. And then I get a somewhat abrasive note back saying, you missed this. Can you tell me why? And then you have to say, you have to think of a coherent way to say, my eyes just did not see that because they weren't looking for it
Yeah.
eloquently. So you don't come off like an idiot, because the reality is most of the time it's like, oh, I'm actually just human. And maybe at that time I was thinking about my pug. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I totally get it, man.
how are you supposed to say, oh, my thoughts trailed and I like didn't see this one tiny itty bitty thing, you know? So just feeling that a little bit.
So you've just been work anxious on top of all this?
Well, yeah, as much as I could be. My job is not very stressful comparatively, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say I've been experiencing similar things about just like missing stuff and being anxious about missing stuff, even though I know I'm doing a good job. I just had my performance review and everyone said I was so good and they validated me and all this stuff, but I need to be more disciplined, is what they told me, which sucks. They said I need to be more organized, which I agree with, but also Chiboy very well might be dyslexic, and it's very hard for me to know words and know organization and do all that stuff, but I am getting work done. I swear. You know
We need
that.
to get you tested for dyslexia.
I know. Yeah. You keep getting mad at me for even saying it.
Well, yeah.
But then you also keep saying, I think you're dyslexia.
Well, I'll say it to you and only you, but I just would worry about claiming it too many public places because you haven't been diagnosed.
I know. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And I called the dyslexia center and they took down my information, and I think they took it down wrong because I haven't heard anything back.
Oh my God. That's kind of hilarious.
Which is so funny because I had to redo it like 3 times. She's like, and what's your name? And I'm like, it's Dakota. She's like, Dakoka.
You're kidding.
And I'm like, no,
You're
it's Dakota. She's like, Dakoto. And I'm like, no.
You've got to be kidding
She
me.
spelled it wrong like 4 times. And then
And
we
you're like, wait,
confirmed
what did
it
you
finally.
put?
I
And
know.
then she's like, wait, what did you mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she put my name 3 times.
Wow.
Like in the same line. She's like, your name is Dakota, right? Spelled differently 3 times. Not actually, but it was like, God, it was like pulling teeth. Which is so funny to think about that was my experience
That
calling
is
them.
really
But
funny.
yeah, never heard back a single thing. They were gonna send me a whole pamphlet on like, are you dyslexic? And I think I passed. It's all a test, bro.
Yeah, that was the quiz. Was
Yeah.
like, she's like, okay, spell your name, and you're like Dakota. She's like, okay, last name Jones. Okay, now do it lowercase, and you're like Dakota. She's like, now backwards. You're like Tico forwards again.
Well, all I can say is that they didn't get me, and I definitely passed that test. I spelled my name wrong right so many times. And I'm curious why they didn't call me back.
That's funny. Well, yeah, we should address that a little bit, because you should get accommodated if you.
I know, like
have
it
this,
does make
you
me
know.
wonder if there's like some software or something that can just help me like read my emails a little better. Or
There
something
is
like that.
one. There's a Chrome extension.
really?
Yeah, there's a Chrome extension. I used it for a little while because I thought it might help me not miss anything while
Yeah.
making websites, but I realized I used too much bolding and formatting to mess with the formatting.
Yeah.
What it does is it bolds the first 2 letters of every word. So
that would be helpful.
The main reason is with dyslexia, from my surface level understanding, is like people with dyslexia a lot of the time read words as pictures instead of sounds.
Yep.
And so like,
I mean, I read to you, and you know how many words I just like improvise
Yeah.
as I'm reading.
Yes.
Because they're just shapes to me.
Yes.
And I'm basically just like slowly falling through the page and just like constantly tumbling and catching myself.
Yeah. And
It's so difficult.
If you bold the first like 2 or 3 letters,
I have
it
a
reminds
chance.
the reader to sound out the first 2 letters at
Yeah.
least. And
Yeah.
then you are drawn to the attention of more letters than just the shape of the word.
Yeah. That's
So,
interesting. I would love something like that.
Just Google Chrome extension dyslexia or whatever.
Well, there's also the added fact too of just like the lack of confidence with anything regarding words and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I'm good with presentations. I can blah 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 skeetle bop up on the stage, but dude, if I have to write an email, shit takes minimum 20 minutes for me to write an email.
Well,
it sucks.
here is my little nugget of hope for you. Are you ready?
Bury that nugget on me.
And this is for all the other
Give me that nug.
gold prospectors out there.
You're really burying the lead on this.
I am.
Give me the nug.
Well, so when I first started in the corporate world, I got the feedback a lot that I wasn't organized, and I worked as an event planner.
Yeah,
and so like you have to know dates off the top of your head and timelines off the top of your head.
Never. I will never know that.
Memorized, signed, sealed, delivered by the minute, recited by memory.
Okay.
And I honestly got into a ton of embarrassing situations where literally they would ask me that and my brain would go empty. And I'd just be
Bro,
like,
what's the nug?
the nug, sorry. The nug is that I was so traumatized by something that I truly was bad at and I'm forgetful about. And I became a type A, very organized person who does know all those things now. So what I'm saying is usually if you have something that you are weak in and you acknowledge it and you've gotten the feedback behind it enough to create a shame that motivates you out of it, a lot of the time it becomes your strength. And so what I'm saying is maybe if you like channel some of this like shame energy that you have towards, you know, failing at things or little mistakes, you will overcome and surpass and be beyond most people, and it will become a strength of yours instead of a eternal weakness, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. I think that's good. I think that's a good nug. It's so hard for me to anticipate. Like even now I try so many different attempts at like being organized, and like I just find it overwhelming to put like every task in its own individual little John Ski with a little check note and a little due date bite and all that stuff. And it's like everything is there and I stare at it and it's all just a million little tiny things that take 2 minutes and I get so overwhelmed that I don't do any of them.
Yeah.
You
have to find a system that works for you. Like a lot of the time companies will request that you use whatever forms and things that are required, or sometimes I take a screenshot of all the things I want to do, paste it into a Word document and use the draw tool and scribble things out.
Yeah, I'm definitely good with like a sticky note and like a checklist or something like that. I'm good with those, but like my company has a software that's like virtual organized like sticky notes kind of a thing. And like my boss, who is a manager and does that on a micro scale, some might say, comes by and always checks my little Post-it note app and is like, hey, nothing's changed on here in a few days. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's because I am avoiding it, but I'm also doing work.
Yeah.
It's not that I am actually avoiding it. It's just that like, I can't devote the time to like constantly keep that updated, or else I will like lose my mind and lose my motivation to work.
Well,
it's so hard for me.
You should come to me and ask me, because I can find you a solution that you'll actually do. Like I have to set up, this is all work talk, so we can be done in a minute.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
I had one of those where I kept forgetting a stupid thing, which was just to move my IT tickets basically from pending to solved, which all that I'm doing is in our system labeling it as done, from done, making sure they don't have feedback, waiting for feedback, not getting any, so moving it to solved. Yeah. I wasn't checking every day because it seemed like redundant, and I was able to find a way to do that twice a day consistently after receiving the feedback that I wasn't doing it, you know? Well,
I know. And I know this was technically about work, but I feel like it does spill into the thing I kind of want to talk about today. I know we're 28 minutes into the podcast or
what
whatever,
you got?
but bringing organization to life and like how important that is to people's like functionality and happiness and anticipation and getting all those weird feelings. Like, your juice bag is so susceptible to stress hormones all the time if you don't know what's going on all the time. Yeah. And like, I feel like I'm super susceptible. Like I'm constantly like clenching my body and stuff and doing all these like weird stress maneuvers and things because I just never know what's coming next. And I want to become more organized. And I was hoping we could talk a little bit about the importance of organization in home building as well as like family building and stuff. That's been on my mind constantly this week, bro.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Dakota had a dream.
I had a dream.
What was your dream?
No, you tell me.
You tell me what you dream.
You did the
your
thing.
Dream?
What was your dream? Wait, did you have a dream?
No.
I had a dream that I was on my deathbed and I basically regretted that I didn't have kids naturally. That was the dream.
So can you paint me a word picture of what the dream actually was? Could you see yourself?
Okay, let me paint a word picture. Okay, scene, dark, couch, fainting, white-skinned man, on the couch, horizontally, blanket covering, sweating, mouth barely agape.
Really?
Thought bubble comes above.
Actually?
I regret not having kids naturally. End of dream.
Actually?
No, dumbass. It's just a dream. I don't know.
What do you mean? Do you not see anything?
It's more of a feeling. I don't know. It was like I woke up with that intense feeling. I was seeing like memories of the lack of natural child havingness. I don't know, man.
Well, usually when I have dreams, it's like there's an alligator trying to bite my feet, and I can see this hazy like thought of an alligator biting at my feet, and I'm running away. You know what I mean?
No, it was.
So you kept saying at your deathbed, so I thought, man, were you witnessing?
It was a lot later on in life. Like I wasn't actually on my deathbed in the dream. It was like I felt like I was able to take myself out of the present, see myself objectively, and understand that I was acting in a way that was ultimately pessimistic, based on all these beliefs and all these things that I had that I kind of feel like I always know is going to be a temporary feeling. Like I can feel myself growing more and more into an optimist every day. And I'm like, I know I'm going to regret this shit, you know? And I had that epiphany. And then I was like, man, top of mind is like, what do I want most in life? It's like, I want to start a business. I want to build my house and I want to have children. I've always wanted to adopt because of ethical and moral reasons, all that shit we don't have to get into. But I was like, man, I have always wanted to have kids with Jett. It's my deepest, darkest secret desire of having natural
Which
kids with Jett.
Which is so funny. That should paint the picture. I'm sure we have family members listening on like the things Dakota and I have wanted the most in our lives are owning a home together. So we were very young homeowners, but also starting a family together. And I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to intellectualize
That's it. Yeah.
having kids, and it's so important to us.
We've thought ourselves into pits before.
Yeah, to the point where we have a lot of conversations about the idea of having kids, but we haven't had the actualization of a real timeline. Like we're always
and
like,
that's where the organization comes into, is that without a plan, I can't be your man. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Because there's a lot of financial and scheduling things that you and I in our family unit find to be important.
Exactly.
And we have a picture in our minds that we are painting for what we would like to have available to our kids when that time comes.
And see, like a lot of people, I feel like, especially earlier on into their adulthood, they're like, well, I don't want to have kids now. I'm being like reckless. I'm going out and partying. I'm having fun. I'm doing stuff. My version of reckless is starting a business and putting my whole family's financial viability and future on the line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to bring a kid into that if I'm about to shoot my freaking foot and arm off, financially speaking.
And if I'm going to be honest, you and I have not ever fully, like in my heart, I feel like you and I have never 100% agreed if we want to be a dual income or a single income or a partial income couple when we have kids, because, you know, there's so many factors at play with that.
Yeah.
So it's just
a
complex question.
I know. And this is why I want to have the day-long conversation with you about probably just kids specifically.
Yeah.
But also it just spills into so many other things. And so that's why I think taking the time to get more organized, understand a timeline, commit to the actual bit, be open to amendments, but ultimately like talk more often about planning. And I feel like we do that on like a year scale, but I think we need to level up. I think we both know that we need to start making like
quarterly.
Not quarter. Well, I'm talking about looking more into the future. We have these big ideas that we're just going to get to eventually. And unless it's on the calendar within a year, we're not going to do it. And I'm not saying we should accomplish everything within a year. I'm saying like we should be like, here's a year plan. Here's a 3-year plan. Here's a 5-year plan. Here's the big goal, 10-year plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Kids is a tough one, I feel like, especially for the womb bearers of the world.
I know.
because there are timelines associated for women specifically.
I wish I could do it for you, man. I ain't got the hips.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Don't have the womb in your womb.
Oh, the womb too, yeah.
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 Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe not. We'll see. That'd be weird.
Would you even be interested in having kids naturally? Do you know?
Yeah. I think I don't have the I don't want to.
You've been curious.
Here's my thing. And I've talked to you about this. I need to let some of my walls down when it comes to child rearing, childbearing, because honestly, I've been using language to set up barriers between myself and the thought of pregnancy and childbearing. And I told Dakota this the other day, but I'll share it with the podcast and maybe other girls can relate, is like when you are young and considered fertile and married, people will always be wondering and asking and giving their 2 cents about if you should be having kids or not.
When you should be having kids or not.
Yeah, when you should be having them. Frankly, I've never been offended by those questions because I felt very self-assured in my reasoning behind what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that has also come with setting up boundaries in a way with how I speak, how I project to other people, and how I talk about pregnancy and childbearing that has a lot of defense up.
Yeah.
Where I probably come off, which I was about to do just now, which is why I'm bringing this up, is like talking not negatively, but just defensively about why I wouldn't want to be pregnant or why I wouldn't want to conceive a child or bring them into this world or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because I feel as though a lot of the time when the woman who is the owner of their body and their womb start opening up to those conversations a lot more, it manifests itself. And honestly, I haven't ever felt ready to conceive a kid.
I know. And you are a firm believer in manifestation. And you expressed to me the other day that like you chanted pug at me for like 3 months and then eventually a pug came to be.
Yes.
And so you're reluctant to commit to the bed with a kid.
Everything I have ever wanted, I have gotten.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't chant pug until I actually felt ready for pug.
Until you wanted, yeah. I know.
And so I'm not chanting baby. I am not chanting baby.
There's still so many conversations to have about it. Like even now, I'm still like my other side of my brain is like, we're having a very rational, reasonable conversation that future parents might have. But the entire conversation has been I, me, my. What about the kid? That's a person too. What about them? We're going to bring this little squirt into the world.
Well, that's why I don't want to even really talk about our reasons for wanting kids until we talk about our action plan for the life we want set up for them. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying is being organized not only beyond that, but the 10-year goal is like not just our goals. It's also got to be our kids' goals, man. Like we're not going to spin out their whole life for them, but sure as shit, we're going to be prepared to do whatever the hell they want to do too.
Like we need to make decisions on, do we want to help them pay for college? Do we want to help them buy their first car? Do we want to set up a trust in their name? Or like all these things that take a lot of planning when you learn about finances. We got to start
saving for their car now.
That's
if
what
we
I'm
have a
saying.
kid. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I don't think we have to have everything perfect.
No, we don't. And everyone says that. Like, you never know when you're going to have kids and blah, blah, blah. And you can't have everything tied away. And I do get that. Like, I do think if we get everything perfectly planned, we're never going to have kids. Or we're going to be 45.
And we're aware of that.
And that's I know. There's got to be some give. There's got to be some take.
Here's an example on why I think we're going to do this right. Is because right for us.
It's like, oh, geez, fighting words.
For us. Because it's not that we don't know how to take calculated risks, but we keep enough doors open to protect our family from the plan B and the plan C and the plan D.
We hedge our bets.
Yes.
We don't take
when we moved,
risks.
I quit my job without a job lined up, and we moved across the country we had enough.
But also with the determination and assumption of the worst case scenario that both of us were ready to work as baristas in Philadelphia if need be.
we were willing to take any part-time job, any gig we could think of to make an income where we ended up to make our dream come true. And it will be the same for kids.
Yeah.
But we are going to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Absolutely.
And a everything's on fire plan, at least conceived up before we conceive a child. Because, we both come from broken marriages and families. And we've seen the effects of that on children and children who have turned into adults like us.
Yep.
And I just really want to honor my ancestors, my family members, by really learning from lessons that they set forth the hard way a lot of the time, and show that whatever struggles that they went through, I was watching, I was aware. I do see that they're human and it's okay, but also thanks for the lesson. I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Did we tell the story about screaming earlier? Was that in the last episode or the episode
I don't
before?
know, but I think it's okay to say again.
If we didn't already, something that we were talking about as parents, I decided to act like I was full on screaming like my dad used to. At like the dog or something for like not going to his room or something. Like I'm like, "Got her," blah blah blah, and I screamed at like the top of my lungs with like a man voice, and I felt so ridiculous. I think I have told this story, and the more I'm saying it, the more I'm like, oh, it's so familiar. But like, we just still have so much to learn and so many things to experience and do and understand and know,
and about ourselves,
how to do it best for us. Yeah,
too. Like a lot of the reason why we don't feel comfortable pouncing on a decision about kids yet too is we're not confident in ourselves as individuals quite yet. Like there are seeds I want to sow in my own life that I know I can carry through when I am a mother that are important, like my mental and physical health and my home and
but
my
you know what's exciting
sanctuary.
Though, and why I'm reassured that we're heading in the right direction is that I have felt better and better every day we've moved here to this coast, taking this crazy risk, doing all this stuff that we never thought we would be doing. Every day I feel more like the person I was meant to be. I can feel the confidence growing in myself, professionally, relationshiply, financially, like emotionally. It's crazy.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm very thankful for what the future has in store, and I'm super looking forward to what we have going on.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, it's good.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break and then we can come back for questions?
Yeah, we got some questions to answer.
Real life questions this time, nothing from the AI.
Hang on, and we'll be right back. Sorry to interrupt this week's episode, folks, but we'd like to remind you that if you enjoy what you're listening to please consider subscribing and sharing our podcast. Also, don't forget to leave us a review on all major podcast platforms.
We're about to roll into our Q&A portion of the episode, so if you'd like to be featured next time, hop over to Instagram and submit your question to us at JuiceBagPod. Now let's get back to it. Welcome back.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Didn't I show you? I pointed at a picture of a really ugly face the other day and said, "That's your Keira Knightley face that you try to make." That's what you just did.
That's so nice. I do such a good Keira Knightley impression. Do you want to hear / see it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get into character. Captain Jack Sparrow, where are we going? You got to do a lot of teeth, back of the throat. Will, get to the black bag.
Oh God, your face is so ugly when you do.
Honey, thank you.
Guys, Dakota has a hidden talent, and it's that he's just got a lot of face.
Shut up, dude.
And it stretches so many weird ways.
Bro.
So when you make weird faces, you look so scary. You told me that story of when you were in college and you made a really ugly face at your friend and he literally recoiled in horror.
I gave him like a 6 on a scale to 10, and he literally stopped asking a question, and he's like, "What?"
It's your like hidden power, but you never share it with anyone except me.
Sorry.
No, I love it. It's just so hideous.
Well, now that my confidence is completely shot.
Only when you try to make ugly faces.
I know.
You know I love your face.
Do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of a general question. How do you know it's time to go to couples therapy?
How do you know? How do you know? I feel like there's multiple instances of when you could go. Have you ever been to couples therapy?
With who?
No.
Yeah. My first boyfriend from the 7th grade. Yeah, we went to couples therapy.
That's odd. Your first boyfriend, actually, his mother was my therapist, so I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Therapist?
Yes. Yeah. She was my therapist at school.
Therapist?
Yes.
Like counselor?
Counselor therapist. I would go in there for counseling sessions.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Therapy sessions. We would talk about my family and stuff. She knew a lot about me. So anyway, I ask again, have you been to couples counseling? No, I'm just kidding. No. So with that being said, I don't know if we're the authority to speak on that. Mental health is important and all that stuff. But I think any time is good for couples therapy. I think the two big ones would be if you're either in a really good spot or a really bad spot would be the 2 times where it's most appropriate. It's like my knee-jerk reaction. I feel like, at least during my time, have you been to therapy?
Only a handful of times when I was like 12.
Do you feel like you learned anything?
No.
Why?
Because I felt so emotionally aware. I felt as though I could manipulate the situation to get through it the way I wanted to.
So lying?
Deflecting. Yeah.
That's a yellow flag.
I was 12, okay?
Uh-huh. What else are you deflecting in these conversations we have? Anyway, that's interesting. Good for you. I learned a lot in therapy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the normal one who's not a weirdo.
Sure, my 12-year-old self is so sad to hear that.
No, I think either the best of times or the worst of times is to be in therapy. I mean, I think everyone should be in therapy all the time. Couples therapy is more specific. I mean, obviously, if you're not in a couple, you don't need to be in couples therapy. But I would say if you're in a good spot, it's a good time to learn the lessons of what therapy can teach you. I felt like I learned a lot of really great lessons in therapy, a lot of ways that I could treat myself better, a lot of methods I could use to like help me identify my emotions and how to work through those things. Learned a lot about myself and other people. I thought that was great.
Individual therapy.
I know, but also like there are so many generalizations and stereotypes that human beings fall into, and I'm sure that couples therapists run into that all the time. In fact, I was just listening to, I think it was like a TikTok or an Instagram reel or something about like golden retriever boys and how she can like generalize men in couples into like these different categories. And she was talking about golden retriever boys and how they were always the golden boy growing up, and they're really attracted to this type of girl, and this is a common problem where they come in together and then one can't relate to the other because he's just trying to help her, but she needs help emotionally, but he wants to do it, you know, because his love language is...
You're just saying there's a lot of tropes to relationships that are easy to fall into, so easy to identify for a therapist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like easier for people who have been together for a long time, or at least had a lot of experience with relationships, to identify tropes and roles that people fall into. But for a lot of people, it's really hard when they, you know, barely know themselves, and then all of a sudden they're committing themselves to somebody else. It's like, you got to know what you bring to the table, what they bring to the table, and how those two mix, because there's like a third person in this relationship, and it's the relationship itself.
Yeah.
And if it's not healthy, then you two are going to feel super weird the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've talked enough.
Can I say something?
You speak. Go ahead.
You look really cute right now. You have a sparkle in your eye.
You're exhausting. You were exhausting to be around.
What?
Yes.
That's mean.
Why? What is this?
What?
Is your love language words of affirmation?
No,
why are you telling me this?
Because you have a sparkle in your eye and you look so cute and I love you. But I disagree with you and some of the things you said.
That's what it was, huh?
It
Buttering
wasn't,
me
actually.
up before
I
you
meant-
threw me
no.
butter side down on the floor.
My opinion of therapy changed 20 minutes ago.
Why? When I started talking?
No, haven't been talking for 20 minutes.
That feels like it.
No, when I actually looked up this question, because to let the viewers know, I asked Dakota last night. I said, should we go to couples therapy? Mm-hmm. And you said no. You declined.
Did I?
Yeah. What do you mean? You're like, nah.
I remember asking if insurance covered it. I don't think I said no.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. You were kind of like, I don't know.
Don't make me the villain of the story.
No, you're right. You're right. You were somewhere in the middle. Anyway, but
God.
I was thinking about it, and when I was looking up this question, this wasn't a writer question. This is one that I asked, which I asked because I asked you yesterday, and then kind of was thinking, like, should people go to couples therapy? And honestly, we took a quiz right before this podcast episode by the Gotham.
We went over this.
Gotham Institute, and it's like a couples institute for relationships and how to handle conflict or missing parts to your relationship. And we both literally scored 100% in our relationship.
Yes.
We're totally fine in all aspects. That being said, I don't feel like we need to go to couples therapy.
I'm not asking. That wasn't even the question.
I know.
Get off the soapbox and say, when should people go to couples therapy?
Right.
That was the question.
Well, I know. But...
I know. I just wanted to say.
Well, no, because I feel like there's a lot of discourse. I'm trying to get to a hot take and choose to be a little bit more open.
Then go. Close the mouth.
Shut the frick up. Let me be long-winded. Otherwise, we're going to couples therapy and I'm going to tell her how you're treating me.
You're so mean.
Okay, Keira Knightley.
Captain Jack.
I don't know who I am anymore.
But I feel like a lot of the time, this goes back to... No, okay, I remember your response on why I interpreted it as a no, is because you said something along the lines of like, we'd be, looking for someone to answer our questions.
Oh,
and
that was regarding children, because we were talking about that.
But I brought it up because I was like, well, maybe couples therapy would help us talk through all these things. And you're like, well, technically, it sounds like you want someone to make all the decisions for
Yes.
us.
Well, that was different. You were talking specifically about children, and I said, well, it'd be good to have like a third party arbitrator of our arguments and stuff.
Mediator,
but when it comes to like a mediator, when it comes to like moral beliefs and like what we should or shouldn't do, for both of us have very rational reasons for why we want to do X or Y. It's not like we're not going to bring in somebody who has their own moral bias and then just be like, oh yeah,
do what they want.
So-and-so's right.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I wonder, and this is my hot take moment. If a lot of the time people of our generation, it is of my belief that folks our age, so maybe 24 to 34-ish, like lower age millennials, high age Gen Z people.
Yeah. I feel like there's a big difference specifically between like 27 and 28-year-olds. Because like I just can't relate to 28-year-olds. They just seem really old to me.
Until tomorrow.
Don't talk like that.
Is that we all try to use, including myself, which is why I thought your point back to me, which is like, we can't just have them decide things for us. Which is so funny that you said that, because I've said that before. I was like, I wish you could hire someone to make decisions for you about stuff like this, or like, taxes and investments and kids and all that. Anyway, but I feel like that age demographic, 24 to 34, is a mix of people who we were raised by, in my opinion, a sloppy generation, an emotionally sloppy generation.
Yeah.
Just going to put it to you straight. And I think that's left us all yearning for clarity, which has led to a bunch of over intellectualizing, over psychoanalyzing ourselves to the point of oblivion, and using that to put off decision making and put off living real life, because so often we're thinking about living life.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
Dude, I just re-downloaded TikTok, and I am so glad I do not have that app as often as I used to. No, I know. I'm joking. I re-downloaded it because I was hoping to make something for my architecture media stuff. But like, it like within like 10 swipes, I had watched videos that was like, its intention was to have me think that I was a certain way, or this is why you do this, and then it was like a generalization or an opinion.
Here's why you're inflamed everywhere. Here's why your eyelashes won't grow. Here's why your parents hate you.
Here's why you're not happy with your current job.
Yeah.
Here's why maybe you're not right to be a pet parent, or just weird random shit that people have such strong opinions about.
And the reason why the algorithm has sent that out is because I would guess that the algorithm is made up of the like 24 to 34
who are just looking for identity, or
we
validation.
are looking for identity and validation,
communities, and they're like, oh, I have X, I am now a part of X
community of people with fill in the blank, illness, fill in the blank, mental illness, fill in the blank, division of labor problems, you know.
Well, yes, that is all true, but also we got to get back to the task at hand, which is, how does this relate to couples therapy and therapy in general?
Well, I think people should go to couples therapy if they have ongoing conflict that they just they like are talking in circles and they've revisited and they're just not having a solution, and that argument or disagreement is a deal breaker in the relationship. So
interesting. So you think it's only when it's dire?
Not dire, but definitely like circular.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've had points like that where we've had kind of circular times.
Yeah, I agree.
Where mediator would have been really nice to
I think
smooth that out.
But there's also the mediator stands up for the not as good fighter. Like he or she becomes like kind of the referee.
Yeah.
I feel like one person in particular in this relationship is a little better at arguing her point than maybe her counterpart. And it'd be nice for me to have somebody to come to my defense if my point is not being heard because I'm not articulating it in a way that you can digest really easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is like, you want to do it during the good times and the bad times, because even though some of my plans, when I say them, at first come off as like hot takes or something that would be like, oh, well, that's a stupid fucking idea. And then she could be like,
actually really smart.
You know, that's a good idea. What if we thought about it this way? And they're just like, oh, that's what you meant. And I'm like, well, I am smart, but I'm also stupid and I can't talk very well, you know? And it's that's where I feel like it's important.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look at that. You've changed your mind twice in this conversation.
No, I still stand by.
No, you don't.
I do.
Nope.
I do.
I win.
No. Because I truly think, not that we couldn't go to couples therapy if we wanted to. Yeah. I'm open to the idea.
I feel like we could team up and beat up the couples therapist.
Should we like gaslight them and talk like...
Be like, I noticed you don't have a wedding ring on. Are you not married? You must be unlikable. Do you have any friends?
Oh my God. That's so mean.
I noticed your index fingernail polish is like removed. Do you pick your nose like often? Like what the fuck?
Oh my God. That'd be horrible. But anyway, so a circular relationship is one that I would recommend. Like you're just talking in circles. You're not able to come to a conclusion that appeases both of you.
Yeah.
And just like the obvious unhealthy things that we all know are abusive and negative and bad.
Well, yes. And also like, since we're in a podcast about relationships, like I feel like the anomaly, and we need to remember that like, speaking to a broader audience, like a lot of people aren't as emotionally intelligent as the average bear, especially in the times that we are in currently. Like I know even just like 2 years ago, I was like basically losing my mind. And I feel like a lot of people don't have podcasts about relationships, and I feel like some people just need tools and help to figure out what they're doing. That's
when you need some tools, for sure, and reassurance on your path, or who's right or wrong in a particular situation could help to have a mediator.
Yeah.
For sure. That's my answer.
What is it? What's your answer? In layman's terms.
If you have conflict without resolution on a repeat status that does not appease you both and is a deal breaker is when you should go to therapy.
Yeah.
But I don't think people should really have to go to therapy to just like basically rush through learning. Do you know what I mean? Like it's okay to let time pass gently and learn lessons slowly. Like I don't think
You're opening up another can of worms for me, dude.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Speak your truth.
Subjective truths, bro. Subjective truths. Like people have experiences and come to the wrong conclusions all the time.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have somebody who can act as a third party or a wall to bounce ideas off of, you can come up with the wrong ideas. Some people, especially in our different past friendships and stuff, created entire imaginary worlds of their perceptions of how people thought of them, of how people were acting, feeling, and doing. None of that shit was real. And it was all learned by them just observing things and coming to conclusions without voicing them, and then having somebody say, that's actually crazy and not how I feel at all.
Can I say something?
What?
Those people were in therapy.
They weren't talking about their problems.
I'm just saying.
I know.
The point of a therapist is to give you tools to find your own resolutions to lessons that you need to learn and you have the desire to seek. If you go to therapy and you want someone to fix everything for you and you're coming up short and your life is still in chaos, it's because the fact is you're A, not ready for change, B, not even interested in a solution, and C, actually like the life that you have and want to live in that.
I'll accept that for now.
For now.
I'll accept that for now. But how dare you think that's a dunk on me?
I don't think that's a dunk. I literally am thinking we just have different opinions a little bit, because the fact of the matter is you and I are not in couples therapy. Clearly. No, I'm just kidding.
Asshole.
And we're doing just fine. And so the way you're phrasing it makes it sound like it's a requirement in today's society.
No, I don't. I'm just saying you can go in the good times to get better, and you can go in the bad times to get better.
Yeah.
It's nice to have somebody who knows this shit to do it for you sometimes if you're feeling very weak or very good and just want to go the extra little step. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware the people that we're referencing, they went to therapy, but also they talked about everything except their problems. And some people do that too. And that's fine. Waste your money. I don't give a shit. Don't care.
Yeah. I would say don't go to therapy unless you're ready to actually make change.
That's true.
Yeah.
You gotta... I'm not changing my mind. I'm staying where I am.
That's fine.
Okay. You either have to be at a rock bottom or a tippy toppy, slippy sloppy.
All right.
You ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me remember what the F it is. And while I'm thinking of it, I got to shout out a particular listener who I'm actually not going to shout out by name because that would be rude and gaslighty. But also, don't ever send in questions for me to roast your relationship. I'm not going to do that.
We're not going to do
I'm
that.
not going to do that. I don't have the context to do such a thing, and I'd feel like an asshole. I'll do it in my private time. No, I'm just kidding.
I know everything.
Yeah. No, if I can make one request, don't do that. Send me a birthday present instead. My birthday's tomorrow. Let's see. Our anonymous relationship question. First of all, missed the assignment. Here's the question. A week or so into the new year, how's your resolution/goals going so far?
Bad. Baddie.
Let me try and harmonize. I'll touch my ear.
Bad.
No, we're off.
Bad.
Yeah, it's not good. You go first?
Well, I wrote down some of my resolutions and I do feel like we're working towards them, but not nearly as aggressively as my heart desires.
It's been 16 days.
And also, I'm a routine person. So if I'm not contributing a little grain of rice to my goal every day, I just feel like I'm not doing anything and it makes me depressed. So I just feel like...
See, dude, the more we do this podcast, the more I realize how absolutely unchill we are. We're 16 days in. Give ourselves some grace for Christ's sake.
It feels like so... I literally feel like I've
already increased my studying by like 400%.
Yeah.
You're running...
Yeah.
Actively.
Well,
we're 16 days in. We're doing fine, for Christ's sake. But it doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I also had a lot of goals and aspirations set out, and apparently I just thought I'd get them done within 15 days. And that doesn't seem to be the case. I have been eating bread like it's my gosh darn job.
Well, did you have any health goals?
Huh? I think I wanted to be quote unquote pack daddy is what I said. So I'll just
Did you
consider
even
myself
write down
bulking.
any of your resolutions?
Hey, yeah, I did. It's on
Where?
my Trello board on my website
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have
On
I
your
have health
public
goals.
Trello board, you put you want to be peck daddy.
On my private Trello board
I thought
that is
people
not
could see
shared with
that.
anybody. Thank you very much. No, I wanna get a little bit more muscular. I want to put on some mass, but I also want to run a half marathon.
Whoa, a halfie.
A halfie.
Ooh.
Either that or a 5K. What?
Well,
Ooh.
we'll definitely do a 5K. We're doing
Yeah.
a 5K this weekend,
I know.
but we're also a halfie. Sounds nice.
Do you want to do a halfie with
I
me?
kind of do.
Let's do it. That would be so much
Train
fun.
for a halfie. I have never ever run. Well, I
We
played.
could bring Vito in a stroller.
That would be so much fun.
I know it would be. Oh, he'd hate it.
Do you think he would hate?
Oh, he'd fucking hate
then
it.
we probably shouldn't.
No,
do that.
we should absolutely
Well,
do
could
it.
you imagine pushing him at a running speed
That
on
guy
a
bit
sidewalk?
me the other day. We're pushing him.
No, you get shaken baby syndrome.
No, I have health goals. I am not achieving them thus far. Let's just give like a general update. So yes, I have health goals. Am I contributing to them actively right now? No, I'm not. I've been on the Peloton like maybe twice, and I'm eating like shit. But seasonal depressive disorder, whatever the hell.
Excuse.
Seasonal expressive excuse or depressive excuse? I'll take that one. What would that? Oh, I thought it would be SEX, but
Excuse.
SDX.
A seasonal excuse. Sex.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, we're Delulu. Anyway, so okay, physically not going well. We got to get this out. Physically not doing well. Financially,
Not doing
I
well.
feel like I'm spending a lot of money.
Me too. Oh my god. I'm broke. I have $0, by the way.
The good news is my money is going to a good cause. I just got notification during the break that my flight suit for my costume is coming in.
Yeah,
mail.
you've made a lot of progress on your
Thank you.
501st goal. So
Thank
that's
you.
Good.
I went to a meeting with a bunch of folks, and they were super, super nice. It was at a very interesting family fun center that I will not be going to ever again, but it's good to have that experience under my belt. So that's been going well. I feel like the philanthropic aspects have been going well. I've been hanging out with my little brother a lot, which has been really nice. That's been a goal of mine, is developing that relationship with him. And I feel like those were like my biggest ones, is the fitness. I still want to be a little bit better about the financials, and we're taking steps on the business, which has really been exciting. We had an initial call with a potential client / friend, kind of a test run. We'll see if that moves forward, but honestly, if it doesn't, I still want to talk to that person because I do miss talking to them. But anyway, so I just feel like stuff's going in the right direction, and I need to give myself a little grace. 16 days, it's almost my birthday. And I need to chill out.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you feel like you've been doing?
I feel like the main cause of my despair is that I am not grain ricing my goals every day.
Planting a piece of rice, or what do you mean?
Well, just like for me, I mean, I just made it up, that term, but just like the idea where if I have a goal, I at least want to like put one speck of effort into that goal every day intentionally. So like my eating is still in check. I've been exercising on and off, but I just like really want consistency about it every day. Like if I don't have the gusto to go for a run or do the Peloton, like I should at least be doing a stretch and like a meditation, something for my physical, mental health, every single day. Just like, even if it's 10 minutes, I should slip it in and prioritize it. You know what I mean? Or like some weights, nothing serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a lot of other goals that I realize. So I think I've mentioned this before, but it's something I think about a lot when making goals are decisions you make to sacrifice other things to actualize the thing.
Yeah.
So I've realized that I have been kind of pit-putzing around truly prioritizing and sacrificing other things for things that I would like to actually be doing.
Yes, the sacrificing is the key aspect.
Yes,
but everyone skips that and then never goes forward.
Yeah. Like you and I give each other, we both agreed upon a set amount for personal spending every month in the budget. And honestly, it would make me so much happier if I spent, half of that money on exercise classes or another membership that I could just be going out and doing something.
Yeah.
And that would bring me a lot of joy, but I'm just like resisting
I know how you feel.
the choice to prioritize it. And I think that's annoying and I need to not.
My biggest crutch has been like entertainment and like video games and stuff. It's like if I have free time, I know what I need to be doing, but I'm either watching TV or playing video games. And it's like I am never willing to let that go and make that sacrifice. And I freaking need to.
Yeah.
But this ties back to what we were talking about at the beginning. Is like it's hard to even think about and articulate all the goals that we had set forward because we're not organized, bro. How is this boat going to move forward if we don't even know where we're going? We got to spend like this weekend. This Sunday. We got to sit down. Patty can watch. And we got to talk some shiz.
Here's some accountability. We will have an action plan set out that we'll give you the highlight reel of next episode.
Yeah. We're going to do it.
And here's a challenge to people who made it to the end of this episode with us to also have a meeting with your significant other / partner or friend or couplehood. Dog. And pace out your life. Talk about your goals. Talk about the little grain of rice you want to invest in that every single day so that by the end of the year, you got a pile of rice you can cook into the best fried rice you've ever made in your life.
Absolutely, guys. It's been 16 days. Okay. Time to actually get going. I think we got to do that too, bro.
Yep.
Talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Juice Bag. Were you surprised by what we said? We were. Oh no, is this on the internet forever? Oh God.
Can't take it off the internet. Hope we don't do this again next week.
Ooh, what if we did this again next week?
Maybe it could be like a thing.
Ooh,
Who knows?
see you next time.
Tune in next time to find out.
Or not.
Bye.